We're back, and we're at the the Perek series of the Tomer Devorah, Perek 10. There's farm here if somebody doesn't have it. The emphasis, my plan was to finish Tomer Devorah before Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, so this 10th Perek.
Next year, you mean?
We just have one Perek to go, but we know what that means. So we got until the last Perek, so now we're going to finish the last Perek. Last Perek's a hard Perek. When I say difficult, hard Perek, it's a little bit different than all the other Prakim, sort of highly Kabbalistic in a way. So let's try to understand this. Lafi Hasaga Seinu. I don't know that we can get to the full Hasaga of this, but at least a little bit of it. So Perek series, Perish Rabbi Shimon Beparshas Bereishis. That means the Zohar. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai tells us in Parshas Bereishis. This is at the beginning. This is even before the Zohar begins per se on the Parshios. There's a Hakdama of the Zohar. Hakdama to Sefer Zohar. And there, I looked at it inside. I want to learn it inside with you, but not today, because it doesn't really apply until next time. But this is what he takes from this. Perish Rabbi Shimon Beparshas Bereishis, Eitza Rabba Ugedola Min HaTorah. A great piece of advice. Heichis Kasher Ha'adam B'Kedusha Ha'Elyona V'Yisnai Ba V'Lo Yiparid Min Asfiris Ha'Elyonais Tadir. Now, in order to understand the sentence, we'd have to do a review on the entire Tomer Devorah that we spent a year on, which I'm not going to do right now. But the idea now is we learned all about the spheros. So the spheros, in a word, are the elements that are part of the architecture of the creation of the world. So Hashem created the world, for instance, with Chesed, with Gevurah, with Tiferes. 10, Asar Mamoris Nivra Ilam is also connected, the 10. So starting from Keser all the way down to Malchus are the different elements in the world. People don't know about this, but they're there. These elements are there. So these are not, this is part of the Bria. It's not about trying to understand like different parts of Hashem. Hashem has Chesed, Hashem has Gevurah. It's not about trying to understand different parts of ourselves. All that's true because that's part of the Bria. But what the spheros are is the elements which HaKadosh Baruch Hu used, the building blocks, which HaKadosh Baruch Hu used to create the world. So there's a piece of there's an element of Chesed in this world. We like the element of Chesed. The element of Chesed in the world is, plants grow, they give off fruit, babies are born. We wake up in the morning, etc. A lot of pleasant things that take place. But there's also an element of Gevurah in the world, which we're not so crazy about. There's Gevurah. So Gevurah is the boundaries that, there's Chesed, is Hispashtus. I'm just giving you an example of the way the Bria works, the little bit that we know, is that there's Chesed, there's this Hispashtus, HaKadosh Baruch Hu allows, that Gevurah puts a boundary on it. So when people go out of that boundary, Stom V'Amor, there's destruction. What's also important to remember and to understand here is that the Avos, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, not only tapped into these spheros. Titain emes liYaakov chesed la'Avraham. Not only did they tap into these spheros, but they actually built them. Meaning, there was a potential building block of chesed in the Bria, but when Avram Avinu tapped into that and started to, in his earthly way, do chesed. He opened up his tent to all sides. He reached out to all the goyim of the world, right? He was Megayer Geir, his wife was Megayer Geiris. So what he did was, thank you so much. What he did was he took that one midah of chesed and he magnified it into the world. That can be a problem because from Chesed you also get like a Yishmael, who Perodom, the Perodom, wild, expansion. Anything goes. So Yitzchak Midah Gevurah was Mesamtzing. Yaakov created the balance. So what's the juxtaposition of the building blocks that HaKadosh Baruch Hu used in the architecture of the world and the Avos? They took them and they magnified them, or brought them, if you will, into the world. And this is the way now the world works in a more magnified.
Like catalysts.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
It means that they allowed it to happen in the world. Their character traits opened up the...
Right, okay. Right. Not sure what a catalyst scientifically is a little bit different, but the point is they brought this midah into the world. So the Zohar says that what did Avram and Yitzchak and Yaakov do? They took midos that were there, and they were makasher themselves with those midos to bring it into the world. So like ma'or midas harachamim, ma'or midas hachesed. We always have to be careful, for instance, not to be ma'or midas hadin. Din is a good thing. Hashem makes din is a good thing, but we don't want to be. In Kabbalah, there's a concept of being ma'or dinim. Like you don't create an example, which is very Nageya now, just to explain just Nageya these times. Like the halach is, you're not allowed to go into a makom sakana. You're not allowed to go where it's dangerous to go, even if you have something to prove. Unless you feel that it's worth giving your life for, you're not allowed to go into a makom sakana. Now, what's a makom sakana? Is
Shechem.
Shechem, let's say. Today there's more makomos, like the police outlet, stay away from Kfish Achad, by the police station, stay away from Shar Shechem, stay away from. I guess makom sakana is defined by what the police say is makom sakana. Let's take an easy definition. But what the Gemara's makom sakana is, you're not allowed to stand under, you're not allowed to sit under a wall which is about to fall. That's the Gemara's example of a makom sakana. The Gemara goes on to say, even if it hasn't fallen in the last 20 years, like it's not, when I was a kid, in order to go to shul, we had to go under this bridge that a train went over. The bridge was probably built in 1890 or something. So so every time I went to shul with my father as a little kid, I just remember we get to the bridge, run, had to run. So Dad, it hasn't fallen down since 1890. It hasn't fallen down ever. So why are we running? So he said, it's going to fall. One of these days it's going to fall. Anyways, it did fall down. did fall down a couple of years ago. I went back to visit. Tuck fell down. You never know when. So he's right. According to the Gemara, that's called the makom sakana. It's a kaisa ru'ua. Even though the Lamaisa didn't fall, and just tons and tons go over it every 20 minutes. This freight train goes over every day. Sooner or later, it's going to fall. So, but what's wrong with going into a makom sakana? If Hashem is watching you, what's the difference? What's the difference where you're standing exactly? What's the difference if I'm standing in front of a firing squad, or I'm standing I'm laying on the beach taking a tip? What my nafkamina that was in charge? The answer is that when a person is in a place where it's natural for something negative to happen, it's natural. Like naturally, if you're standing in front of a gun that's shooting, naturally speaking, true, every bullet has its address, but you don't want to take a chance here. Why? Because what happens is now you're going against teva, and since you're going against nature, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to have a reason to save you. So all of a sudden there's a little din Torah going up over there in Shemayim. Should I change the teva for this person or not? So the eights of Chazal in Tainus Chavav, Aleph through Chavav, is don't put yourself in a makom of din. That's din. That's what din means. Din means you are now being judged. Why put yourself in a place of being? No, we like din. If not for din, so the world wouldn't be miskayim. If not for din, the waves that come up on the ocean would keep on going, because there would be no gvul, there would be no boundaries. But at the same time, like the din is the teva. Elokim is gematria teva. So since din is teva, why do you want to put yourself in a place where you're testing teva with your own godless? How do you know what your godless is? So you don't put yourself in a makom of din. Again, the pshat in the avos is that they're magnifying different parts of Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Let's take that. So Rav Shimon Bar Yochai says in the Parshas Bereishis, the Haggadah, Eitzer Rabba Gedola Min HaTorah Hechiskasher Ha'adam B'Kedusha Al Yoda. Something new. We haven't really. How do you do what Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov did? And that is to tie yourself in, Yiskasher, connect yourself to the Spherois V'Yisnaig Ba V'Lo Yiparid Min HaSpherois Al Yoda Stutter. In other words, Avraham Avinu, to make it simple, connected himself to Chesed, and he brought a magnified version of Chesed into this world. So much so that Yitzchak had to do Gvura to balance that out. There had to be the Akedah of Avraham and Yitzchak. So they're in a ruach without a neshama. Once I'm a nefesh a ruach and a neshama, I'm very vulnerable to all kinds of things, chitzonim and malachim, all kinds of things. I don't want to give anyone nightmares.
Shading.
Shadim, yeah, all kinds of things. I'm vulnerable. So like we might just like, I really got to go to sleep. But it's an interesting thing that you really got to go to sleep. Is like, oh, I really need to die now. It's a sort of a somewhat suicidal thing to really got to go to sleep. So I just if you allow me, I just want to say this one thing. I had this thought actually in Shabbos morning. Well, not such a great chiddush, but to me it was like, wow, chiddush. The Gemara famously says, I think it helps understand. The Gemara famously says, maybe one of the most famous Gemaras. The Gemara says that if somebody's makadosh anisha, almanasha, anitzadik gomer, afal pi shuhu rasha gomer. So kedush choshen lekadushin. That means that if I say to a woman, harei mekudeshes li, on the condition that I'm a tzaddik, even though I'm clearly not a tzaddik, I just killed somebody. I'm no tzaddik. So afal pi shuhu rasha gomer. So she still needs a get because it's considered a kedushin. So the Gemara says this. Wild, why? Dilma hero b'tshuva. Maybe did tshuva. And in fact, even though a minute ago he was a rasha, right now he's a tzaddik. And therefore, if he is a tzaddik, the kedushin is a kedushin, and if she wants to get out of it, she needs a get. So all the Lamdanim, the Bali Musar, everybody talks about this Gemara. All his tshuva is about this Gemara. That what you can say vidui. He didn't give back all the things that he stole. He didn't ask mechila from all the people that he insulted. Right, all the steps of tshuva. But is it tzaddik gomer? What kind of a tzaddik gomer? So obviously, and also what's a hero? You have to have a dibur, and there's all kinds of. Everybody talks about. Minchas Chinuch goes on and on about this Gemara. And they say pshat in the Gemara. I just say my little vart here. I don't know the answer to any of those questions. I'm just saying that what you see from the Gemara is that the difference between a tzaddik and a rasha is a hero. That occurred to me on just past Shabbos morning as a very powerful a hero. It's all about a basic thought, just like a fleeting thought. A fleeting thought. Now, it doesn't mean that I've gone and I've returned all the things that I've stolen, but this is what the Gemara says, right? I'm just like pshat, brisk, pshat, dilma hero b'tshuva, a hero. So I started thinking, what is that hero that takes a second, and it takes a second, and it takes me from being a rasha to a tzaddik. It might not be the completion of tshuva. That's not what the Gemara says, by the way. The Gemara doesn't say that harei zeh bal tshuva. It doesn't say that you still don't have. You still have to do tshuva. Still have to do tshuva. But in terms of kedusha, the lashon apparently, this lashon almanash ani tzaddik, So I'm a tzaddik. Baal Tshuva. Baal Tshuva is higher than tzaddik, right? Malchus